Hello, I'm EnterElysium, and welcome back to This Is the Police. Right, I'm back from my 2-day break of This Is the Police. And, yeah, the police station don't really like me, but whatever. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. You never know, some of the eggs could be twins. Right. That's going to work. I've decided that, this game is pretty... No, you're coming in. No, you're coming in. I don't care. You got yourself drunk, that's your fault. I think this game is pretty but we're going to play it anyway, because it's going to be amusing, even if I get to just poke fun at it. So, warning, I will be poking fun at this game from now on. I mean, when do I not? But whatever. We're going to lose horrifically at this stage. Funeral. They're preparing a plot. I'm going to share 50% with my staff, because I need to get them on side more. Yes, that does disappoint, but whatever. Right, City Hall. I would like everything since you love me right now. Right. Investigations. Okay, I've got everyone on that case. So you work on that. Meanwhile, can I hire anyone? I don't think I can. No, I can't. Not that there's really anyone to hire. The Interministerial Committee is in charge of certifying employing personnel. Please send 2 of your most serious and reliable employees. You know what? Fine. Whatever. I want to keep City Hall on side. Leaves us with 4 employees. This is going to be so good. I don't know whether they're going to be coming back. That is one of the downsides of those events. I mean, apart from the fact that you don't get to, like, there's no timer on them, so you have to be like, here's your employees. I don't have any. Okay, you failed. It's like, well, you don't want to give me some time? No? Whereas every other event does. But also that it's like, yeah, your employees could be here for like 5 minutes, or they could be gone the entire day. You just don't know. There's no feedback. Like, the events are written by someone who obviously knows what the events are about, but hasn't thought about it from a gameplay point of view. Drug possession. Please receive an anonymous tip that Dirty Harry Dry Cleans is the front for cocaine. That's not possession. That's distribution. They're very different things. Drug possession is like, you know, you give them a rap on the knuckles or whatever. Actually, this is America. It's like you give them 10 years in prison and hard labor. But, like, drug distribution is completely different. Like, that is, like, yeah, you send heavy support. I'm going to send 2, and it'll complain at me. Oh, I can. Sweet. Vela and Mail. I was hoping we could have some better people on the shift, but... sadly, all the deaths recently and people leaving because of the Catholic Church, some really terrible reason. The dry clean is empty aside from an elderly Chinese woman dozing behind the counter. Sneak past her. Can't do that. Any evidence I get will be inadmissible in court because I don't have a warrant. Oh, I've got the search warrant. Well, I've got to inform her if she's there. Wake her up and give you a shirt. We'll show the search warrant. Seize the cops and start shouting, then pull the shotgun from under the counter. Try to grab the shotgun. Shoot the woman. Taser. She's old. If I tase her, she might die. I'm going to try for the grab the shotgun. Yeah, it worked! I think that was like one of these events where it's like, normally you go for the taser, but on this event, it's an old woman, she'll die. Although I'm not sure, like, it would be, yeah, she's a, like, member of the public, so, but she's also the criminal, so what happens? Like, the criminal can't die. I don't think the criminal can die. I'll ask the Mafia to sell it, because screw everything else. At this point in this game, I'm going balls to the wall, I don't care anymore. We need to make lots of money fast. We're probably going to die. Suspicious individual at church. Isn't that part of the course? Oh, the dentist is sitting there writing his service. The heathen is still sitting there in the last row. I've got to go back on. Just hurry. No. 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 A man came to the Black Handsome barber shop and presented a gift certificate for a haircut surprise. As specified in the certificate, he was blindfolded and trimmed, but when the man saw what happened to his hair, he became enraged, smashed the mirror, and attacked one of the barbers. Okay. Yeah, we'll send Vela Mail again. Massive fight. I'm guessing you won't let me send you. Why can't I send the SWAT? Really? A massive fight? A mature woman who came to the beach to swim with her 2 grandchildren lost her temper at 2 girls who were sunbathing topless. The lady started with a number of nasty comments. When they were ignored, the woman began to beat the girls with a switch. This is an Americanism. I don't understand what a switch is. We have some other word over here. I can't remember what it is, but I know it stands for something that, like, it's a weapon for beating people with. Yelling, "Shameless! Shameless!" 2 men stood up for the nudist, and soon several others joined the fight. Well, that was completely badly handled. Let me guess. Yeah, you won't go. Oh well. Has the music stopped? Really? Oh, yeah, music stopped. Well, technically flawed as well. A regular parishioner who had changed his hairstyle. The man is threatening to cut the barber's throat with a shard of mirror unless he fixes the haircut. Look, you got bigger problems today than the haircut. Sit down in a chair and ask for a free trim. Man, you don't look so bad. You should see my wife. Yeah, let's try humor. You should see my wife. Get him off guard, then tase him. Tase him in the nads. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. Sometimes you just gotta tase a fool in the nads. Reckless endangerment. Construction worker involved in the restoration of a historic building got in over his head and the walls of the building began to crumble. Larger pieces are falling from the floors above, threatening the lives of passers-by. When this is reported, the construction worker quickly worked his way down by rope, then threw his helmet to the ground and ran away. Well, if I can't get to this... I don't think I can. No. Okay, we'll send Samni and Vandal. It is right next door. Illegal business... Oh, for God's sake. A suspicious man is stopping cars on the road, selling handmade wooden jewelry, decorative glass, and manure. Manure? The brooch collapsed right in my hands, and the fraudster wouldn't give me a refund. I assume that is not meant to be manure. I assume it's something else, and I'm just reading it wrong. And won't give me a refund. How am I going to get my money back? Have you tried the financial ombudsman? Actually, it wouldn't be the financial ombudsman. Whatever. Did anyone die? For God's sake, a fight happens. And oh, by the way, civilians are killed. Why does every fight result in civilians killed? This was a fight over nudists at the beach. For God's sake. But yeah, everything's going to result in death these days. That is something I have read in like a lot of the reviews about people who've got to the really late game. Is that, yeah, everything you go to, your officers will die. Everything you don't go to, civilians will die. Yeah, we got the reckless endangerment one. Which is a bit annoying. Suspicious individual. Intoxicated man carrying a hand drill spot on the bridge, flagging down a taxi. Yeah, that's not going to be the dentist. The dentist wouldn't get intoxicated just carrying a hand drill. Ooh, jewelry. Yeah, I'll sell the jewelry. Jewelry's worth a lot of money. The problem is, like, jewelry is just jewelry. Is it, like, a lot of jewelry? Is it not much jewelry? Because we moved someone's jewelry, like, ages ago, and we got loads of money for it. A young waitress at the cafe noticed a man dressed in police uniform who fit the description of the dentist. I don't think it was a gun in the holster. I think it was a drill. Oh, for God's sake. No. Homicide. Right. Now we're talking. Let's start on this. His right hand has been severed, and there are a lot of bruises behind the knees. There's 3 bullet holes in his chest and a lot of blood around the body. So yeah, that is probably, like, got hit behind the knees to knock him down. Oh, it could be either of these. Okay. 3 bullet holes in the chest and a lot of blood. So, shot from the front. Severed hand. That sounds about right. I didn't recognize him at first, but it's my neighbor, Edgar Sanchez. I often met him with a tough, dangerous-looking woman. They were always fighting loudly. I remember she was ugly with a tattoo and AK-47 on her neck. That doesn't really help me massively right now. Mr. Jones. Homeless. I woke up with a heart-rending scream. Oh, I woke up 2 heart-rending screams. When I got out of my box, everything was quiet. I only saw a man from behind. He had a gun in his belt, and he got into one of those expensive cars. He looked like a man, but he had long hair, so who knows about this prick. There's lots of those fags hanging around. Wow. Okay. So, long hair. Maybe a guy. The other day I saw Sanchez arguing in the street with a weird guy in a hood with a cane. In a hood with a cane? Interesting. The guy poked Edgar in the stomach a couple times with a cane and thought about calling the cops, but they shook hands and went their separate ways. Sanchez always paid his rent on time and in cash, though I don't think he had a job. If he was into drugs, maybe it was something illegal. Okay, so, like, the guy with the cane attacks him. Cuts his hand off. Is that a white suit? Don't know. Then drives away? The hand was separated from the body while he was still alive. Okay, so he was shot afterwards. The smooth edges of the wound indicate that it was inflicted in one swift motion. The bruises in the popliteal region were from a hard object like a night skip. I assume that is the bit behind your knee. Normally I'm good at this because, you know, I have a bioarc degree, but I don't recognize that word. I assume it's the bit behind the knee. Like a nightstick or a club. Apparently the culprit first forces his victim to the ground. Okay, so, you know, like a cane. So it'd be like that, but with the guy in the suit. Then he canes him, chops the hand off, shoots him, gets in his car. Does he get in the car? I don't know. But there's car involved. Okay. We need more frames. It's very quiet. Yeah, it turned out to be a regular Freiburg PD employee. I like how they keep going on about Freiburg being like a small town, etc., blah, 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 but it's got skyscrapers, for God's sake. And City Hall and, like, mansions, I mean, you know, mansions by the by. It's got, like, a dock. And lots of skyscrapers. Harm's drill salesman. He was drinking because he hadn't much luck with his business on the account of the dentist. Aww. Poor drill salesman. Right. I think you're leading the case, aren't you? We could get you to come in tomorrow. So we can have some work on the case tomorrow as well. Massive day-long power outage in city centre. Bikers donate blood at Central Hospital. Elementary school student stuck on Ferris wheel. Say all still like us. Police station like us more. Go to work. The Mafia like us 3, despite the fact we haven't done anything for them. You're reading a book? No. Honestly, I get that a lot. No, you can't have the day off because your kid's playing for a band or whatever. The one about the, oh, I was staying up all night reading a book, that's really common in this game, and you would think that that would be one of the rarer ones, the more silly, ha ha ha, lol, but it happens all the time. I will play a track. I wonder if it'll actually stay playing the track. It should just play on loop, but maybe it just plays once and then stops. That's silly. It should play on loop. I can hire another detective. B shift. Maybe we should hire for A shift, and then we can move the current detective to B shift. Yeah. Now, who to pick? I mean, I want to hire someone who would fit, like, any of the, oh, we need certain racial stereotypes or whatever, but, I'm just going to go with James Jackson, because I like the cut of his, like, look, it's like, yeah, I'm a detective. I'll get you for A shift, and that way I can switch around the current, like, system. So, yeah, you'll get added to A shift, and I can move Weaver onto B shift, so Weaver can tomorrow off. If Weaver cracks the case today. She probably won't. Upgrade your SWAT team. They'll work 3 times a day, so I'm going to increase efficiency. I earn 10% more! It's still barely nothing. I can hire another police officer. Okay, where do we want to hire a police officer? 6, 7. Okay, A shift. Justin Flores, you're not a bad police officer. Although, Sharon Morris is cute, you know, but your mustache is terrible. You're old. Actually, old is a good reason to hire someone, because it means you can fire them at any time. I am a terrible boss. Okay, let's hire for A shift and then get into this proper. And 8 o'clock. Go. Give me some case. Nope. Okay. Case. You got this case. Yeah, you got this case. Case will show you how it's done. Harassment. Right in front of the store, a strange man came around the corner and accosted the young woman she left the bakery. The owner of the bakery thinks he could be a dentist. You gotta understand, he's scaring my customers. Well, if he, like, actually, like, accosted as in, like, you know, assaulted or whatever, or verbally harassed or whatever, I would send cops. But you can't just say, look, he came around the corner and he was a dentist. Come, please. Okay, disorderly conduct. Man with a pit bull entered the center when he's security warned him that the dogs weren't permitted. He started threatening to let the dogs off the leash if anyone gives him trouble. Tase them. Fight. Headmaster reports that two mothers were fighting right there in her office. She called them in to discuss behavior of the children. It seems that Mrs. Klein's son often makes fun of the daughter of Mrs. Masters. The girl finally enough abuse and stabbed the boy's hand with a pencil. Wow. Go her. We'll send Powers. Actually, no. We'll send Numata because Numata's not a leader. So going by herself is fine because she won't be needing on something else to buff anyone because she can't. So we'll send her. Disorderly conduct, Powers, and... I wouldn't send Austin Powers, but Taylor. Let me guess. Harassment. The owner of a new bakery is trying to lure away customers. Ah, there we go. Will it be wasting police time? Making a false police report? Oh dear. Mr. Boyd, I'm preparing a long article for the magazine Righteous Life, and the theme of my article is Cop Sodomites. According to my investigation, tragic deaths are occurring... tragic deaths are striking 13 gay police couples across our country's great cities. A satanic pentagram is emerging from the map. Perhaps the devil is telling them that even he cannot accept them. According to my predictions, an F-Dex will happen in Freeburg. The problem is that you need to visit 6 more cities, so I don't think I can wait around for it to happen. In fact, I'll only be in the city for a couple more days. I hope you can somehow, accelerate the process. I'll pay you generously. And don't worry if the dead cop turns out to be straight. Like my editor always says, dead men don't file lawsuits. What? You want me to kill a cop? What? Like, this is the sort of thing, right? That the game's like, yeah, you should really be doing these to get money. And it doesn't tell you how much money, which is terrible. And then it's a case of, yeah, you just have to kill the cops under your command. And if you're even remotely role-playing Boyd, I don't think he would just go, yeah, I'm going to kill all the cops under my command for money. That is way off the beaten track. No. If someone happens to die, then sure, but I'm... Oh, you want reinforcements? Here, take Roy. That's the guy with the dogs, right? Off the leash? Yeah. Keeping Floridor in check. Floridor's going to testify against us, by the way. And the thing is, Floridor has, like, 2 cops, like, as partners who have died. Yeah, we caught. Unharmed. Really? I thought one of them had a pencil through his hand, but sure, whatever. And I could just be like, look, Floridor's testifying against me. Have you looked at Floridor recently? Massacre. We got an almost tip the dentist broke into the women's clinic and is killing the patients. Oh, for God's sake. What's the other one? Animal abuse. Bill Buckler says that a madman came into his farm with a hatchet and started attacking the cows and other animals. Okay, well, we'll send Floridor Timson. Right. Corn Monument. Mr. Bott, I want to shoot a scene featuring one of the finest landmarks in the fair city, the Corn Monument. This is a public place, so please send 4 officers to assist. They'll keep any curious children at a reasonable distance, and the rain and the men and any protesting hypocrites explain that everything is being done according to the law. There's only one condition. The cops can't touch the actress. She's not some kind of whore. Where did that come from? What? Wait, is she actually, like, naked? She looks like she's wearing something, but is that just something that this guy's holding in front? Since this... I don't know how long the people are going to be out if they go to this, so I'm going to wait until the last possible second to send them, because there could be something important I need to send people for. But I will probably answer that for the money. That said, they never pay well, and they really should tell you the money up front. Puts up his hands, but he's still holding the weapon. Try to put the handcuffs on the guy who's carrying a deadly melee weapon. Calm down the cows and say everything will be all right. Slowly approach defender, pistol at the ready, and knock the knife out of his hands. No, you order him to drop it, and then you tase him. Why is there not tase in the NADS? See, you need a tase in the NADS option all the time. It's a valid option. I'm gonna calm down the cows and say everything will be. I assume we're still covering him while we do that. Whew. Good. And you know, your partner didn't die, so well done. Assault with a deadly weapon. A man called from a phone booth saying he's under attack by a sniper. Oh, well, this is a movie. I can't get out. He just shoots the asphalt in front of my feet when I open the door. I don't know what he wants from me, but when I got in here, there was a note glued to the phone book. It just says, "Don't move." Well, I was going to send people to the Corn Monument. But, sure, let's send you three. And SWAT. SWAT's got, like, increased efficiency, so they should be good. Hostage situation. Well, we're not going to the Corn Monument. The man is wearing a suit. The man wearing a suit is crouched on the floor on the booth. The surrounding pavement is decorated with bullet holes. A crowd of onlookers is gathered on the other side of the street, watching what happens from a safe distance. Call out to the sniper. Mr. Sniper, you are surrounded. Surrender. Pull a patrol car right up to the booth. In which case, my officer will be shot. Let's look at the windows and rooftops of the nearby houses. The sniper begins to bombard the phone booth with bullets. One of the onlookers say the shot's coming from an 8th floor window. Run into the building, shoot the window, drag the man from the booth of the car. But he could just be like a plant, a double. He could be like working with them. So I'm not going to just shoot the window. If I run into the building, it's just like send like a couple of officers and keep the rest outside, then, you know, that would suit me. Drag the man from the booth to the car. I'm going to run into the building. Oh, yeah! What's the hostage situation like? Elvis impersonation competitions being organised by several well-known local artists by Lindy Bryant, who volunteered to evaluate the contestants. According to the local line of the bar, this sorry excuse for an Elvis fan shouted rudely at some of the participants, saying they were nothing like the king. Then he saw the woman shout, "I knew you didn't die. Take me away with you. We'll live happily ever after." The bouncer threw the woman on the street, but she grabbed a knife from a bag and stabbed him in the throat. Oh, God. Then Mrs. Bryant grabbed one of the impersonators and pulled him into utility. Hostage situation with fatal casualty. This is a good description, right? This is a correct description. We will go to that, but I will send people to the Corn Monument first. Priorities, right? Because these three can go get this one. Right, 1, 2, 3. Paddy wagon. Massacre report. Everything is fine. It was just a story invented by the pro-life activists. They called the police department as part of a campaign to attract attention to the issue of abortion, which is... Sorry, this is not a false alarm. Okay? They called it a story invented by the pro-life... Yeah. This is not a false alarm. This is a false police report. Deliberately, wasting police time. This is a crime. It's not a false alarm. It's just a crime in a different way. I'm sorry, but we do not stand for that here. We don't just go, it's fine, you called in a false police thing. Thanks, Chief. You never see pure gold like that on cable. Oh no, this guy's just got his arm around her. He's just gigantic. Okay. 8,000. That's worth it. Oh, and they're coming back. Awesome. A bunch of Elvis impersonators gather around the door. Swing the nightstick around until people move out of the way. Silently pass through the crowd. Everyone get back. This is the police. Let us through. I want to be quiet, so let's silently pass through the crowd. Inside is a man dressed like Elvis, scared to death, and a woman with a knife. Elvis, get out of here, drop the knife, and reach the sky. I'm just going to shoot the woman with the taser. Don't give her a chance. She's obviously unhinged. I'm sorry, but you've got a deadly weapon. Taser in the NADS. Every time, taser in the NADS. Formal complaint. You've been found guilty of a serious abuse of power. The city requires your salary to be reduced by 90%. Further, we reason to believe that the overstaffing of the police department is contributing to the increased number of service violations, so the number of employees under your command will be cut by 50%. What? This just means I cannot... This is just game over. Like, oh yeah, by the way, you can only go to, like, half the stuff. Like, she was in charge of investigating a crime. Like, the detectives aren't bad, but look, you got rid of Florida, you got rid of Samdi, you got rid of Vandal, Roy, Powers, and it doesn't make any of this obvious, right? The thing is, it's like, yeah, sure, okay, Florida's going to testify against you and one of your detectives. You know, I don't want to kill Florida, or sure, whatever. But yeah, we're going to fire half your staff. There's no reason to fire half my staff, right? They're just being like, oh, the overstaffing in the police department or whatever. That's just bollocks. That's just to give you a reason to be like, you should fear this. How dare you? That is actually complete and utter bollocks, right? And it doesn't warn you that this is going to be the case. Like, it doesn't give you any notice beforehand. It's just like, haha, surprise! Oh yeah, how'd you get around this? Well, you murder your own staff. This is basically a soft game over. Like, a hard game over is like, yeah, game over. A soft game over is like, yeah, basically there's no way you can come back from this. I was just getting back into the mood of, right, we can play this game and I can poke fun at it for its terrible design choice. And I know people are going to be like, oh, it's not terrible design choice, you need to get good, blah, 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 blah. But dear God. The problem is with a game like this that makes you commit for such a long time, because we're on day like 77 or whatever by now, and you know each of my episodes is about 25-30 minutes long for this series. We've got how many episodes up? Like 20 something. So we've got like over 10 hours in the game already, and it's like, yeah, you can just have a game over. We're not even like halfway through. It feels padded. It feels like it's been unnecessarily harsh about, yeah, you've got to be a dick. You've got to kill your cops. Right? If you don't kill your cops, game over. You've got to shoot public protests and stuff, because City Hall says so. Otherwise, game over. You've got to, like, kill your cops and sell the bodies, because you need the money. Also, we're not going to tell you about the money. That's just a stupid design choice. It's so stupid. Just saying, yeah, kill your cops. I want the bodies. Why? I'll pay you money. How much? Kill your cops. Okay. I don't think we can play after this, because it's just going to be a case of this is game over. And there is no way I am playing this game from start again. Because for a start, you don't get invested in Boyd. Okay? Boyd as a character, I like the idea, but he's schizophrenic in how he jumps around. He jumps around, and then people keep pretending that he's a good cop, yet you have to play as an evil cop. Like, if you play as a good cop, you actually just die very quickly on. If you work with the Mafia, you die. Like, it's literally just hard game over. And then, nonetheless, you're meant to like him. He's sort of like a good cop in a bad situation. And you try and play him like that, you die. You try and play him like that, a little bit more, like, dirty, you lose. So at the end of the day, like, what is there? Oh, yeah, you just be a dick. You murder your own cops. And then you don't really feel for Boyd. He doesn't make sense in the cutscenes because he's a different person in the cutscenes. And the cutscenes just feel long and drawn out, and I really want to like them because they've got a really cool aesthetic and the voice acting is really nice. But it's just not fun, and I can't sit through those again. And I can't sit through the early game and also having to destroy the character that I want to play as. And you might be like, well, you've got to play bad. It's making a point. It's not, actually, because early on in the game it goes, you know, you don't have to work with the Mafia. If you hit all your bonuses, etc., you might be able to pull through. It literally says, one of the characters says that. And that's a sort of a call-out, like, you know, you can play however you want, but it'll be much harder. But you can't. You just genuinely can't do that. Like, you die if you don't work with the Mafia. Like, they just kill you. If you, like, don't work very much with them and stuff, you still have this sort of stuff happening. If you just refuse to shoot officers who would testify against you. And I was so looking forward to continuing this game. Or at least I was like, well, look, people on the channel liked it, so, you know, I'll sacrifice my own amusement for the greater good. And I can laugh at the game as we go on. But... And it's not just me that thinks this. Like, I was talking to Steve Joe and Splattercat, and we all came to exactly the same conclusions, separately. And we all discussed it, but like, yeah, no, actually, that's completely right. Yeah, okay, this, that, and the other. We all agree the same thing. This game had a really cool idea and had some really cool elements, but the way they've each been individually executed and then the way they interact is just completely off. It's very disappointing. Very disappointing. And I know people are going to be like, yeah, how dare you have a different opinion to my own? But, like, there's no way we can continue from this, because it will just be boring to continue, and I'll just get fed up with it, and people will get pissed off at that, which, you know, is fair enough. But this is it. This is just GG. And, you know, people were enjoying the series, so I was like, you know, we'll continue. And then it does... I've been EnterElysium. Stay shiny.